You've been doing everything right, maxing out your 401k, cutting expenses, reading finance books. But there's something nobody tells you. 3 simple moves exist right now. Each takes less than an hour, and they'll add years of comfort to your retirement. Not tips, not hacks. Actual structural changes that compound into security. Let me show you. Move 1. The Roth conversion nobody does. You're 58, 7 years from retirement. You have 300 grand in your traditional 401k. You're proud of that number, but here's what's coming. At 73, the government forces you to withdraw required minimum distributions. You'll pull 40 grand annually. That's 40 grand of taxable income every year for the rest of your life. Your tax bracket jumps. Medicare premiums spike. Social Security gets taxed higher. You thought you saved 300 grand. You actually saved 220 after taxes. Here's the move. Convert 50 grand to a Roth IRA. Yes, you pay taxes now, but you're in
a lower bracket now than you will be at 73. You pay 12 grand in taxes today. Painful, I know. But that 50 grand grows tax-free forever. At 73, you withdraw it. 0 taxes, 0 impact on Medicare, 0 forced distributions. Do this conversion annually for 5 years before retirement. By 73, half your money is Roth. You control your tax bill. You control your Medicare costs. Your neighbor Frank didn't do this. Same savings, but he's paying 6 grand more annually in taxes and Medicare premiums. Over 20 years of retirement, that's $120,000. Same nest egg, different structure, completely different outcome. Move 2, the bond ladder. Nobody builds. You're 62, 3 years from retirement. Your advisor says, shift to bonds for safety. You do. You buy a bond fund yielding 4%. Feels responsible. But here's what you missed. Bond funds fluctuate. When interest rates spike, your safe bond fund drops 15%. You panic. Sell at a loss. Exactly when you needed safety. Here's the move. Build a 5-year bond ladder instead. Buy individual bonds. Not funds, bonds. Year 1 bonds, mature in 2026, gives you 40 grand. Year 2 bonds, mature in 2027, gives you 40 grand. Year 3 bonds, mature in 2028, gives you 40 grand. Continue through 2030. Total investment, 200 grand. Covers your first 5 retirement years completely. Interest rates spike? Doesn't matter. Your bonds mature at full value. Stock market crashes? Doesn't matter. You're not selling anything. You sleep through volatility because your income is guaranteed. Your friend Susan kept her bond fund. 2022 crushed her, down 18%. She's terrified to retire now. You're retiring on schedule. Your ladder is locked in. Nothing can touch it. Move 3, the health savings triple play. You're 52. Your company offers a high deductible health plan with an HSA. You ignore it. HSAs sound complicated. Mistake. An HSA is the most powerful retirement account that exists. Better than 401k. Better than Roth. Here's why. Contributions are tax-deductible. Growth is tax-free. Withdrawals for medical expenses are tax-free. Triple tax advantage. Nothing else has this. Here's the move. Switch to the high-deductible plan. Max out your HSA. $7,000 annually if you're over 55. But here's the secret. Don't use it. Pay medical expenses out of pocket. Let the HSA grow untouched for 15 years. At 67, you have 150 grand in your HSA, tax-free. Retirement hits. Medical expenses explode. Hip replacement, 15 grand. You pay from HSA, 0 taxes. Prescription costs, 3 grand yearly. HSA covers it, 0 taxes. Over retirement, you'll spend 200 grand on healthcare. Your HSA makes it all tax-free. Your co-worker Jennifer skipped the HSA. She pays those same expenses from her 401k, but she pays taxes first. That 200 grand in medical costs actually costs her 260 grand after taxes. You both have the same expenses. She pays 60 grand more because
of tax structure. Let's add it up. Move 1, Roth conversions. Saves 120 grand in taxes over retirement. Move 2, bond ladder. Prevents 35 grand in panic selling losses. Move 3, HSA strategy saves 60 grand in medical tax costs. Total impact, $215,000. Same career, same salary, same savings rate. But you made 3 structural moves. Each took less than 60 minutes to execute. 215 grand bought you 5 extra years before you run out of money. 0 financial stress during market crashes. Full medical coverage without bleeding your portfolio. Your friend Rachel didn't make these moves. She saved the same amount, worked just as hard, but at 78, she's counting pennies. You're booking flights to see grandkids. Same starting point, 3 different moves. Completely different retirement. You're reading this right now. Something shifted in your chest. Recognition. You haven't done these moves. Nobody showed you, but now
You know they exist. Here's what happens if you don't act. Imagine yourself at 68, 2 years into retirement. You wake up anxious. Check your portfolio. Down 12% this month. You need to withdraw money for living expenses, but selling now locks in losses. Your tax bill arrives, bigger than expected. RMDs pushed you into a higher bracket. Medicare sends a notice, premium increase. Your income triggered it. Prescription costs hit, $400 monthly, paid from your IRA. But first, taxes. You calculate. That $400 actually costs $520 after taxes. Every expense feels like a double hit. The cost plus the tax. You're not broke, but everything is harder than it should be. Not because you didn't save enough, because you didn't structure it right. Now imagine this instead. You're 68, 2 years into retirement. Market drops 12%. You check your portfolio, shrug. Your bond ladder matures 40 grand this year. Automatic, guaranteed, market proof. No selling at losses, no panic, no decisions. Tax bill arrives, smaller than your neighbours. Half your withdrawals are Roth. Medicare premium stays low. You control your taxable income. Prescription costs hit, $400 monthly. You pay from HSA. 0 taxes, same expense. 60% less stress. You sleep well. Your structure protects you. This is what those 3 moves buy. Not just money, peace. Here's what you do today. Fix. Move 1. The Roth conversion. Call your 401k provider. Ask, can I do an in-service Roth conversion? If yes, convert 10 to 50 grand this year. Pay the taxes. Hurt now, win later. If no, set a reminder for January after you retire. First month, start conversions. Takes 1 phone call, changes everything. Fix. Move 2. The bond ladder. Open a brokerage account if you don't have one. Buy individual treasury bonds, not funds, bonds. 50 grand in bonds maturing 2026. 50 grand in 2027. Continue 5 years out. Use treasurydirect.gov or your broker. Takes 45 minutes. Builds your safety net. Fix move 3. The HSA. Check your benefits portal. Look for high deductible health plan plus HSA option. If available, switch during open enrollment. Max it out. 7 grand yearly. Pay current medical bills from checking. Let HSA grow untouched. Takes 15 minutes annually. Saves 60 grand over retirement. The truth nobody shares. Financial advice focuses on how much you save, but structure matters more than amount. 2 people with 500 grand saved. 1 structured right, 1 not. 20 years later, person A has 300 grand left. Stressed, cutting expenses, worried constantly. Person B has 400 grand left. Comfortable, traveling, sleeping peacefully. Same starting amount, different structure, completely different life. Meet Stephen and James, both 55. Both have 400 grand saved, both retiring at 65. Stephen learns these 3 moves. Does them all, converts 50 grand to Roth before retiring, pays 15 grand in taxes, painful, but done. Builds a bond ladder with 200 grand, guarantees 5 years of income, maxes HSA for 10 years, accumulates 70 grand, tax-free medical money. James does nothing, keeps everything traditional, If it ain't broke, 20 years pass. Stephen, at 75, portfolio worth 560 grand, pays minimal taxes on withdrawals, zero medical expense stress, Medicare premiums stay low, sleeps through market crashes. James, at 75, portfolio worth 340 grand, high tax bills every year, medical costs crushing him, Medicare premiums spiked, sell stocks during crashes. Same intelligence, same income, same savings discipline. Stephen made 3 moves. James made none. Stephen is thriving. James is surviving. The clock is running. If you're 45, you have time. Do all 3 moves gradually. If you're 55, you need to move fast. 10 years to optimize structure. If you're 60, you're in the danger zone. Do these now. Every year counts. If you're 65 plus, some moves are harder, but HSA and Bond Ladder still work. Close this article. Open your calendar. Schedule 3 appointments this week. Monday, call 401k provider. Ask about Roth conversions. Wednesday, research bond ladders. Open brokerage if needed. Friday, review HSA eligibility. Mark open enrollment date. 3 calls, 3 hours total. $200,000 impact. Or don't. Keep doing what you're doing. Hope it works out. But 20 years from now, you'll live the consequences of what you do today. The comfortable retirement where structure protects you during chaos. Or the anxious one where every market drop, every tax bill, every medical expense feels like a crisis. It's not luck, not salary, not inheritance. It's structure. 3 moves, done once, protecting you forever. Your 75-year-old self is watching, hoping you'll listen, praying you'll act. They're living with the structure you build today. Make it strong, make it smart. Make those 3 moves. The choice is yours, but the clock is ticking, and the time is now.